This episode of Mob Rules brought to you by Mob Rules' brand new social network for gaming. If you're not a member, fuck you.
This is so ridiculous.
A little bit of salt to start the podcast.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man.
Well, I think that's the way that you successfully market a social media network. I think, right?
Yeah.
So when we started Mob Rules at the very start, 4 years ago now, I know we gained traction and we gained our thousands of listeners by being, if you don't listen, fuck you. You're the problem.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that sounds right.
That sounds right. That's exactly how it's meant to go. Hey, welcome to Mob Rules. I am John, joined by
Dave
And Danny.
and we're here for a quick little episode. We just did a bunch of recording that is going to be up right now, actually, at the same time on the YouTube page.
actually probably
Dun, dun,
earlier.
dun.
Codex Salamanders, Codex Imperial Fists. I'm really sad all my shit isn't painted green, but that's okay.
Just wash it
or
with the blue
black.
wash.
We were going to do the Space Marine book review today.
Yeah.
None of us read it because Games Workshop very kindly provided us review copies of literally every book.
I know, man. It's been awesome.
It's been awesome.
I think we owe our patrons an extra vote of thanks. First, they bought us the supplements to review for Iron Hands and Raven Guard,
which
and
we
then
appreciate. Yep.
Yep.
The salt that we managed to throw out in those videos got GW to send us. Well, they were like, "Oh shit!"
Oh, my Jesus. They'll
Well,
just
they
shut the fuck up.
They
if we
saw
just
how
send them the
sad
book.
Fred looked
I know.
and me when I kicked that rock, and then they were like, "All right, come on."
My whole idea for an intro for the Imperial Fist video, which we didn't do any intros for this time, which I'm a little sad about, but looking at the time, not sad about whatsoever.
Don't be sad about it at all. We so I want to start referring to Cody in some way, like they refer to the Stig on Top Gear. So, but like we just
Photoshop professional who pities us.
the cod piece.
The cod piece.
Oh, the cod piece. That's good.
Because
I
he
like
protects our junk.
That. Yep.
That's right. He sure does.
Nice.
But no, I want to do
call
like a
him the
little
cod
thing
piece.
where like you just have Fred, like Danny's dog, barking off screen. And you're like, what? And it pans over and he's just sitting there with an Imperial Fist Codex. And you're like, fine, I'll do a supplement review. God.
That's really good.
And then that gets people's Fred to fix. So we'll just do that
Yeah.
for the next thing that comes
Oh
out
man,
here.
yeah, we could totally do that.
Yeah.
We totally do that. Hey, we're gonna do things a little differently. We're gonna talk about things we were up to here in a second, but back by popular demand, I wanna play a game first.
But that's for Dave games.
Yeah, well, I think we're just gonna use it for all games,
This
just
is
based
a-
on its popularity.
This is a
Don't
game
like
with
it,
Dave.
You can suck my dick.
It's gonna mute your mic if you're gonna continue to be filthy. It's language like that. It's language like that. Language like that made YouTube decide our last podcast episode was unsuitable for monetization.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, Patreon. Appreciate you guys. In the spirit of recent positivity in our community, I decided to search on eBay for eBay Price is Right with the category of broken 40K.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, that reminds me. I need to order some Flamestorm aggressors. Hold on.
Spoilers.
I can't. This is the podcast, Danny. I can't put up the Flamestorm Aggressor sold out GIF.
It's sold out because we bought them all. They're available for
Got
a
'em.
nominal fee. All right, so I have, first off here, we have a Warhammer 40K Tyranids Venom Thrope broken off base. It is primed, sort of primed red, but they kind of assembled everything and didn't do any angles with a red spray can. How much would you pay for a broken Venom Thrope, broken off base? Bearing in mind the Venom Thrope's a pain in the ass to get on the base with the thing that's there.
And you're gonna have to pin that thing too.
I would pay $10.
$10 for that.
Yeah,
Danny,
$10.
What would you pay?
For a fine cast Venom Thrope.
I know it's plastic.
Oh, a plastic one?
Yeah.
All right. What would I pay for it, or what is it on there for? Sorry.
Either, well, yeah. Well, what would you think it's listed for?
Oh, okay. So what I think it's listed for is $15.
It was like $17.85.
Wow.
I'm like, for Venom, I don't think I'd pay that for a regular Venom Thrope.
Not a single one.
It's not broken. Yeah,
I
it
guess-
is.
Aren't they $60 a box now that I'm thinking about it?
Yeah, for three. But yeah, it was 1879, but he very kindly took 5% off for the future there.
Oh,
That's nice.
nice.
What a guy.
What a guy! So yeah, Danny's up 1-0. I only have 5 this time, so
right.
there's definite winner.
Unless we guess the same number.
yeah,
Okay.
Ooh, then we'll just flip coin. Or
the
something.
only losers are our
We'll
listeners.
just flip John. If he lands heads, it's me that wins.
flip.
If he
We'll
lands
flip.
tails,
We'll flip the table.
Well,
Yeah.
just then, if you're flipping me, no one's winning if it's head. So I'm a heavy son of a bitch. I have a Warhammer 40k Tyranids Carnifex OOP metal damaged.
Is it okay? Which one is it? Is it the one that's hunchbacked with the,
It's the Hunter Screamer.
the
Carnifex.
Screamer Killer?
The Screamer Killer, yes.
The one with the face in the chest.
Yes, from second edition. Has his 4 claws and his little square base.
$20.
$20.
It's not what I would pay. That's what I think it's listed for.
Okay.
yeah. And now these are buy it now prices or these auction prices?
These are buy it now prices. You don't mess around with broken 40k.
All right.
No,
And that-
certainly.
I put it at. I'm gonna be that dick and say 21 because I think it's more than
21?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was $37.99
What?
for the little out of print,
Oh my god!
goofy looking Carnifex.
Get the fuck out of here!
Perfect.
Does not include the 3 pounds of solder you're going to need to get that model
I'm
assembled.
sorry.
and
The 3
finished.
pounds of what?
The solder,
Solder.
solder, whatever.
No,
People
John,
in
it's,
Britain will know what I
solder.
mean.
Oh
Your fucking chasms out of here.
Chasm.
to understand
Chasm.
to understand that
No,
joke,
it's chasm.
you must watch your
Chasm.
YouTube content.
It is not.
So I have maybe a little newer here. Warhammer 40k Necron Trazon the Infinite with a damaged weapon.
Well, he can just get one out of storage. So I'm gonna go ahead and say $25.
That's not how that works, Dave. Okay, 25.
Yeah.
Danny,
$15.
15. Oh yeah, Danny, you were the winner. There's $17,
Ooh, nice.
and it's not just damaged. He's actually missing the top of his
God,
stuff.
it's
there.
not
So
even
you-
all together.
Oh,
So you can't even
well, that was
repair
the
that
knowledge
one.
I could have had. I would have gone lower.
Not
17 lower, but
So I'm going to say without shipping here because I'm not a monster. And I'm going to try and show you a picture here. I have a Warhammer 40k Space Marine Vindicator model built / incomplete. And as I'm showing the guys here,
It's the metal one.
it is missing the front quarter
okay.
of the treads.
Oh yeah.
Just missing treads.
Yeah, it's
Wait, let
missing.
me. Oh yeah, it's missing. There's like a piece that goes in the front there, like
Yep.
that.
So it's missing pieces, old metal Vindicator. How much would you pay for that bad boy? Bearing in mind, he does have a smaller profile for gaming
Oh,
this
so
system.
you know,
it's
a little
the
bit of
old one.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
All right, so I'm up first
Yeah.
on this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say $35. $30 is my final answer.
30. Okay.
God, I like 35. I'm gonna say 35.
Oh man, well you both went over for his
Oh.
$14.99.
Well, that's probably a fair price for a piece of terrain.
That is a fair price
yeah.
for a piece of terrain. So last one, Dave, you could possibly tie it up here, but there's no way you're winning.
Just
we might have to
just
have an
being able to be in
emergency
your
round.
house right
Yeah.
now with John and
Aw.
Danny.
Yeah.
It's, I feel like a winner
That's
already.
bullshit.
That's bullshit, but worth an extra point. So this one's
What
for the win.
shit, dude?
Tied up.
God,
So this is it's labeled one of a kind.
I doubt it.
Grey Knights, one of a kind, misprinted 8th edition codex with pages of the Chaos Codex in it.
Wait.
How much would you pay for not one but 2 unusable codexes combined?
It's a combination of things.
It's a combination of the Grey Knight Codex.
It allows you to take the owl. So, oh man, I want it.
I kind
I kind of want to order it so I can bring it to a tournament and be like, I'm playing Grey Knights.
Yeah,
It says it in my codex right here very clearly.
very clearly.
That I can take this demon squad as a troop's choice.
What would that battalion look like? Just plague bearers
like a
and
winner.
strike squads?
And a grandmaster.
Just like a winning army.
He's my warlord. Yes, the Lord of Chaos warlord trait.
I think it's $15.
15 for this one of a kind.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna go $16.
Son of a bitch. Okay, so you're
I'll guess.
you're gaming it to actually win, and I respect that. But how much actually is it?
Oh man! All right, I think he's probably trying to sell it for $40.
Okay. Right, it's at $45.
Oh man. It's probably worth every penny though.
2
Yeah,
codexes
it
for the
is.
price of 1. The description. This codex came missing a number of pages, but in the place where these pages should be, there's actually several chaos pages instead. This rare misprint could be worth a good bit to any collector out there, as it's definitely an extremely rare find.
Are they rules pages? I guess that's the only thing I care about, because that could
Data
fuck with
slates.
some people. That's so
It looks like, and looking at the picture there, it looks like you're missing Grey Knight rules pages, and instead you gain demon fluff pages.
Oh, that's terrible then.
I do like that it's infected, the Grey Knights.
Yeah, I do.
that's-
They're finally filled to chaos.
But
You
$45.
just need some sister's blood.
Yeah,
yeah.
They'll be good again.
I don't think so. But yeah, that was our games.
Hooray!
Yay! I'm excited. So now we can get back to the exciting kind of standard protocol of what we've been up to. So Dave, we just played Dave games. What have you been up to?
Well, I've been working on. I picked up some scouts this last weekend.
Nice. I saw that.
Sniper Scouts?
No, bolter scouts.
Ooh,
Bolter scouts.
Sheep. That's what he went for.
Ding.
nice.
For that sexy brigade.
I was going for that
Or,
Imperial Fist Sniper Scouts with their increased awesomeness with heavy weapons.
Oh yeah, that's not bad.
That'd probably be pretty good.
Yeah, 2 damage sniper rifles against vehicles is not bad. And then 6s are immortal.
Yes.
Sat down with Danny and did Psychic Awakening.
Oh yeah, we
That
did
was
that.
good stuff. Ordered the stickers. Got the stickers already.
Oh, we got
They're
some beautiful
beautiful.
Marlboro stickers.
I'm tossing them in the air right now.
Yeah, it's just tossing.
I'm making it rain stickers. Woo!
Tossing it like your mom.
I don't know why we're actually doing it. We don't actually have to do it.
Yeah, that's true. You don't. But I appreciate the gesture.
I'm killing Dave right now.
He's dead inside.
Please don't. I don't have to yet because he's already dead on the inside. Oh man.
Yeah, no, I've just been building and working on some things. Cody and I ordered and received some Windsor Newtons.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I have
Fancy.
a set of those. Those are nice.
I do not have a set of those.
Really?
I have Michael's brushes.
Dude, I bought them on Amazon
wants
for
them
really
back.
They
inexpensive.
were surprisingly inexpensive, actually.
Yeah.
I was looking.
I think I
forward
paid
to,
$10 a brush, something like that.
That's like how much I pay for 10 brushes.
Okay.
But then I have trash paint jobs. So,
But it's, dude, I'm telling you, like for
You have a contrasting paint job. It's not
man,
trash.
I got to tell you,
Con-
I'm going to go.
skill level contrast.
I'm going 100% demons based on just painting pink cars with contrast. Because Jesus Christ, it turned
that's
out
really
good.
nice.
Yeah, super smart.
Those do look good.
But now I want a golden demon category called contrast. Just that's the only paint you can use.
I love it. I bet you come up with some really sick stuff. It'd be
Oh,
like
man,
a bunch of
totally.
watercolor kind of
You
style.
you
paint
won the
jobs.
contrast competition. Because there's no skill involved, so it's a child winning it.
It's the
what I'm
iron.
going
It's
for.
the iron hands of paint.
Yeah.
Paint competitions.
It's just John versus a child. John still loses.
Drowning in positivity, son. What else have
You can't beat him with contrast. Drown him in positivity.
Yeah,
That's a life slogan.
it is. I'm so happy your piece of shit broken army beat me.
Wow.
Yeah,
It wasn't broken last time I beat you.
well.
No, it wasn't.
It was the previous Space Marine book. I mean, it did have Gulliman.
Yeah.
Well, but yeah, what else? So you've recorded a bunch with Danny. You picked up some bolters, scouts to obviously start an Imperial Fist army. You're welcome.
Supported the kid. What? Supported the youngest who just started volleyball, so I've been busy with that as well.
Oh,
So
cool.
I've been doing stuff
That's
like that. And tried to help our buddy Jared who had his Drukari stolen.
What
yeah.
a shame, man.
Out with stuff.
We're gonna. I mean, we have that picture up on the Facebook page, and
it's-
it's up on Twitter. Keep an eye out for that Dark Elder army. Dude had his army stolen out of his car. It's beautifully painted.
And like it was on a case or on a
tray.
on like a frontline
so
tray.
it was
So,
a
like,
deliberate pool.
They
It
knew what
wasn't-
that was.
Yeah.
So
They grabbed the whole thing and ran off with it.
yeah.
And he's actually, it really kind of sucks because he was going down a week later to participate in an RTT in Utah at an invitational for Vanguard Tactics, I believe. I don't know.
Oh man, that sucks.
So a bunch of people and pulled together and threw together an army for him. He's going to be running a copy of Stefan Box, I think is who it is.
Stephen Box. Yeah.
It's with a PH, so I'm sure it's not
yeah.
Stefan.
No.
All right.
I'm sure.
I'm going to throw it into the chasm of names you pronounce incorrectly.
Chasm.
Right, that's fair.
It's pronounced chasm, John.
Yeah. You son of a bitch.
So yeah, so I lent him
That
my
joke's really funny 30 minutes into a YouTube video.
It is.
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
I lent him a repulsor.
Oh, cool. So you lend him some models to use?
Yeah. Well, I have 20 repulsors. So.
I sold him a model.
Oh yeah, did you?
Yeah.
Dave donates models for use. That he's like, man, that sucks. So $30 sound all right.
Which one did you give him?
I had an extra Stormhawk.
Oh,
and so I
nice.
put that on our.
So he solicited it. It's not
Yeah,
like you're
no,
like,
I didn't. He wasn't like, hey, can I borrow one of your Stormhawks? I'm like, fuck off, dude. Pay up. No,
"Hey,
dude.
$30.
No, I gave him a repulsor so that he could work on building the other stuff that he picked up. So he wasn't trying to build and paint a repulsor before this RTT. I was like, just take
Because
this one.
as we all know, repulsors are very easy to put together.
Oh, fuck. I'm having a hard time. I meant to put up a picture today or, for Whip Wednesday.
Right. But then you didn't.
No, it's
Yeah.
okay.
We were too busy salivating over Salamander, so it's fine.
Salivating salamanders.
Yeah. And then I gave him my
Tossed together Thursday is going to be amazing, though.
Sorry. Please continue, Dave.
I'm too busy trying to think of what tossed together Thursday is.
It's when you-
Don't think about it too much.
It's when
gonna
you
be
don't
bad.
do a thing, so you just toss it together the next day and hope it goes off.
That's not at all what I thought it was.
I thought we were doing 3 color Thursday.
I love that. That should be a painting thing we put up. Work in Progress Wednesdays is just anything, but 3 color Thursdays making John actually paint.
Yeah. I gave him my battle foam so he could take up the army down there and back.
Nice.
Because
That's good.
some of the stuff that he lost was the foam inserts for his case. So
Man.
that was
That's
also part of
situational
it.
around, man.
Yeah. So he's headed down there. I hope he has a good time.
Yeah, I hope he does too.
I felt good about it.
Yeah, you should. You're a good guy.
And yeah, there we go. That's what I've been up to.
Okay.
Speaking of repulsors,
Oh,
what
yeah.
you been up to, Danny?
I've been taking some models to work and building them. So I started building a repulsor yesterday at lunch. I didn't get the chance to work on it today because I had like a birthday party and stuff I had to go to.
The Executioner, right?
Yeah, one of the 3 executioners I bought.
I'm kind of surprised you actually are building them, especially considering you're not using them for SoCal.
Well, yeah, I just wanted to build something, and I wanted to have something to test with. Rob asked me if like my sparring partner, right? He asked me if I wanted to play some games against him, and he's been being very gracious and playing against my stupid Iron Hands, and so he asked if I would. I think he's been asking if I've got repulsors, so I'm going to play a game with 3 repulsors and see how that goes.
Yeah, I mean,
Probably not well.
No, I think his list he's building his list to try and beat it, so he wants to see how it does.
right. Yeah, no, all of these games where you just beat the ever-living crap out of him, for him is just him tearing down the AdMech book and getting back to the basics and figuring out what works. I mean, he's doing what 90% of the comp community is not doing.
And
that is-
refuses to do.
yeah,
Right.
and just outright refuses to do.
Yep.
Because it's not going away. He's got to deal with it.
I mean, like, yeah, some stuff might get changed and may be made a little worse,
Yeah.
but it's not going to be a drastic overhaul. Like people think that it's just going to like
If we cry enough,
they think
they're
GW's going to be like,
just the shit out of it.
just take everything back.
yep, recall the book. Give us 2 weeks. We'll print a new one out.
Yeah.
You can have that
Right,
one
I'm
instead.
sure that's going to happen.
Whereas Rob understands that he's got to actually sit down and figure out how do I beat this, and so he's gaining knowledge. Like he's kind of he's like a comp 40K admin data from Star Trek Next Gen.
Oh, I'm just
So fat and bald and not at all actually.
I just think
data,
it's
but-
really surprising, but
He's fat and bald.
well. He's short, fat, and bald.
it's just
Like
super.
Charlie Brown.
Ouch, dude.
I love Rob.
I mean,
okay,
it's-
so he's not.
I was
that-
gonna say-
actually, he's lost a ton of weight. He's not fat. He's still bald.
It's
though.
just super surprising Dave was able to say such eloquent things about Rob with his dick in his mouth.
No, I'm able to say plenty of eloquent things about Rob with my dick in his mouth. I don't know.
no.
That's where the eloquence happens.
That was just fine fellatio of Mr. Porter there.
Let's see.
But you're building repulsors.
I played in 2 tournaments in the last 2 weeks. The last 2 weekends I was able to play an event. I played in a team tournament
Which, did you continue our lineal win streak of team tournaments?
I sure did.
Did you continue our lineal streak of just really fucking gaming the system?
Oh, man. So Iron Hands book was legal. So I brought an Iron Hands Dreadnought army with my buddy Tyson.
Who only plays Dreadnought
He
armies.
only plays Dreadnought armies. So I showed him this, and he was like, oh, okay. Like, he was like, I think I'm going to play Salamanders. And I'm like,
Nope.
You know, he and I have been having that argument since we talked about, since the new Codex came out. I was like, you're playing Iron Hands. He's like, oh, Salamanders with that reroll of everything. And I was like, you're playing Iron Hands.
I said, all right, Tyson.
That's like saying, well, Salamanders could give me a disinterested hand job. And you're like, but you can get fucked over here.
I said, let me try, just keep an open mind and let me try and talk you into it when we get there. And I said, they do this and this and this. And he's like, okay, I'll play Iron Hands. So we played.
I hate you, Tyson.
We played Iron Hands. I got to test some of the aspects of my list that I'm working on for SoCal.
Yeah.
So I kind of played like half my SoCal list, and then Tyson played his Dreadnought list. And like it did very well. So well, in fact, that I had some booze when it was announced that we won. So
you did get booed.
I've never been booed before in an event, but I was booed a little.
Thanks, Iron Hands.
Yeah. So Iron Hands.
No, it's Boo Earns.
Iron Hands, when you really don't care about having friends anyway. And so then I got to play in an RTT with my full 2,000 point list last weekend. And I won that handily. I didn't even have to really work for it. I feel like it just kind of it did its thing and won.
Yeah.
So
did you start playing the game and then you were like, okay, I'm gonna bet you back by turn 3. Just let me know.
So I'm kind of sad that I didn't get to participate in that one because I love playing at MJ's, but it was first weekend for games for volleyball, so I felt it was important to be there, especially since I.
Oh, so you love your kids more than a store?
Yeah, sorry, Rob. As it is, I did make the drive all the way out to buy my scouts from
I did see
MJ's.
That. I did see that. He did come by and see how my game was going, and I did get to try my list against
triple repulsors.
Against triple repulsor executioners, and all the stuff that I thought would work against them did work very well. To the point where at the end of turn 1, my opponent was like, "Well, that's it. I'm done. We can stop playing." And I'm like, all right, well, let's play out another turn and see what happens. And I mean, it wasn't good. I killed 1 repulsor and got 1 down to 2 wounds.
Yeah. Well, and he wasn't playing Iron Hands either. He was playing Death Watch. So,
sure. But I mean, the concept is the same. He had a character with full rerolls.
Yeah, but the survivability of the executioners is dramatically less.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. But then, so I'd only kill 1, and then I'd still have to, I wouldn't, yeah. And my Dreadnought took, from 2 full repulsors firing at it, it took 3 damage.
Did he try the strategy of also including a Warlord in his army?
A Warlord?
A Warlord Titan?
Oh, no.
No. Strangely, he didn't take a 8,000 point model to a 2,000 point tournament.
Oh,
well,
actually,
he would have taken 10,000 points then because he also still want the trip execution.
Oh, fair, yeah.
I'm sorry, I did take more than 3 damage. I took
4 lying sack of crap.
I took 5 damage.
Still though, from 3 giant tanks with 75 guns each,
and I did not use the half damage strategy.
Did he go first or second?
Wait, you didn't use that stratagem?
No, I didn't.
Oh my gosh,
he went first. I'm
He
assuming.
went
very
first.
polite word.
So you were still quite a distance away. Most of his guns couldn't be brought to bear. So
He shot all the heavy bolters and he got all the non 24-inch range guns on me.
Really? He was able to get within 30?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I deployed on the line.
Jesus.
I was ready to rumble.
Big dick swinging.
And so, and then he had a couple.
Big Danny energy.
He had a couple of. He had a bad round of combat with his Smash Captain, where he got into one of my engineer squads on the first turn, and he fought twice and only killed 4 out of 5 tactical Marines. Just because I made an armor save every time he fought, and then he rolled 2 1s to wound against them with the hammer. So,
did he know that he should have been using a giant oversized fist? It's 3 times the strength. Makes it
it is. It's the Chad of power fists.
Or
oh man,
otherwise just punch models off the table.
Yeah.
with his actual fist.
Yeah, with his actual fist, which is much stronger than a page in a book.
And keep in mind, this is Kevin, whose 3 repulsors were hanging out on top of the building that was he's
So
Comp
basically,
40K
you were
famous.
just punishing him for becoming internet famous.
It's the most.
I had to show him who was boss.
It was the most.
He was walking
hated,
around with big dick energy, and
I
you
had
were
to-
like, "Oh hell no,
I
Kevin!"
had to establish dominance.
Nice.
the most hated tactic in comp gaming right now versus the most hated army in comp gaming right now.
Who will win?
Who will win? Whoever it is, fuck them.
Round 1, fight.
So I played that game. I then played against who did I play second round? I played against Sean.
Shot Garen.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he had an IG list that was, I think it's pretty close to Brandon Grant's Imperial Guard list.
Yeah.
And like my flyers all died, but that's it. And I killed a lot of stuff. Like first turn, I killed all the Bulgren because I got to go first that game.
Really?
Yeah. And I didn't take gangbusters.
Womp womp.
Well, because they weren't swarms.
I mean,
Well, because I heard in his previous round they played against Joe, and he told Joe that once Joe selected gangbusters for the Bulgren, he just didn't put them in the game at all. And so I'm
so if you took him, he would have just hit him.
right. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll just take them so that he puts them in a place where they're going to be like, valuable to him throughout the course of the game. So I'll just I'll wait until they come out, and then I got first turn. I was like, oh well, I'll just shoot him with all. I'll just shoot him with all of my Storm Hawks, and then I'll shoot him with all my indirect fire. And I wiped them out on the first turn, which was great.
So
It's a recurring theme for your army.
what's that?
I wiped them out in the first turn.
Well, I mean,
that's kind of the way it goes, unfortunately, right now. Until we get that big, powerful FAQ that removes the codex from the game itself.
That's just the FAQ is just one line is like, our bad.
Yeah, sorry guys, we'll take this back.
Now with 2 ways
hold
to
on.
play.
To actually give a point to Sean there. I mean, that game that he played with Joe, if that was smart tactical play. I mean, having a unit that he selects something on that denies him points. You know what I mean, as far as tactical play goes. So that's
right.
Good job, Sean.
And he I think he played a lot of stuff right. He probably made a couple of mistakes, like I think in deployment. Like, keep in mind, the Leviathan's range is 24 inches.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, I'm going to march it into the center of the table. But I mean, you can definitely keep out of its range for at least a couple of turns, I think, especially if you have good line of sight blocking. This table had some really great L-shaped ruins, not the Nova style ones, but the frontline ones, where he was able to hold like 20 or 30 infantry plus the Bulgrens out of line of sight of my army.
Oh, smart.
Except for the planes, because the planes could see through the second level.
Yeah, well, and then plus they could move a bajillion miles an hour. So
yeah, and then I have enough indirect fire with the Scorpius and the Thunderfire cannon that I was able to deal with threats that were hiding out of line of sight. And so that game went my favor pretty well. I think we played until turn 4, but then he's like, we can just talk out the rest of this, and I said okay. What else? Then game 3, I played against Joe, our teammate. He was playing a very strange list. He brought kind of a joke army.
And was playing for top table at the end. Smart.
I mean, yeah, he was. The tournament was weird though. So we only had 8 people at the event. So which was very unusual for our tournaments. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we only had 8 people.
Because when I swung by, it only looked like you had 3 games going. So
yeah, the game that Rob played first was over very fast. So, and then he dropped the tournament because he wanted to run the store.
Which is fair.
Yep. Gotcha.
It makes perfect sense then in that case.
So, and then it kind of messed with the pairings because then another guy dropped too. So yeah, which was a shame. Definitely.
Yeah, because we got there. It was like round 2. So that's
about 3 hours into the event, kind of.
Yeah.
And we waited an extra 15 minutes for some more people to show up, but they didn't. So anyway, that tournament went pretty good. I won that one. Got some, 150 ITC points or something like that. So no big deal. And then, I've been working on painting all my Iron Hands and building them up. I've got everything primed. I've got some silver on some stuff, and I need to work on silver on the rest of the stuff, and then I can do edge highlights and some flesh and maybe some lenses and stuff. We'll see how much stuff I get done before SoCal.
You just got to get to 3-color Thursdays.
I want it to look a little bit better than that, though.
Why?
So
4-color Fridays, here we come.
Yeah, there you go.
why? What do you mean why?
6-color Saturdays, Danny. Come on.
He's got a little bit of self-respect for himself. He just doesn't want to show up with
I don't want a shitty looking army for a
makes-
big tournament.
I mean, you definitely don't want to just meet the barest minimum, because then you definitely get ridiculed on the internet when your repulsors only look like they have 3 colors at best, maybe, while they're on top of a building.
And they really don't. Those
No,
repulsors
they're-
don't have 3
Yeah,
colors.
no. They're just people being jerks.
Yep.
Well, I updated. I got my last 2 Disco Lords, or Lord Discordants bought.
Oh, nice.
I purchased also another Spewer. So I have assembled all those guys. I made some trades. I went down from 90 Nurglings to a more manageable 60.
Plague Bears, you mean?
Oh, yeah, Plague Bearers. I still have way too many Nurglings. What? Really, is there too many Nurglings? I don't think there is.
No, there isn't. I was actually going to see if you're going to end up using all those Nurglings.
I do have a list I want to run that is 44 Nurglings. That's always the dream.
Nice. You can sell that's a lot of Gangbusters points, though.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, they'll always stay up on my shelf just as a memory of how to play the game. So I got those guys assembled. I got some pink horrors. So I assembled some, got a lot of them painted up, badge painted, like all of them. My son knocked my painting table, so I've lost 1 pink horror somewhere. So I now have
lose more models than anybody I've ever met.
I have 29 pink horrors now, 2 blue horrors, who actually it's 29 purple horrors and 2 white horrors is what I went for those guys.
Why, that's racist.
I know, yeah. And I'm excited to kind of get that stuff going. I was out of town for work into Seattle, so I dropped by Games Workshop's Kent store, which was very awesome, actually. The guy there has been there for 10 years. So like very seasoned employee,
Nice.
super knowledgeable. I obviously spent money I didn't need to spend, but I picked up a Dark Apostle, and man, what a great kid that is.
I should have.
Oh, man, it's super cool,
It's
right?
so
I know we joked about you picking up a Thunderfire cannon if they had one.
there was none.
But in hindsight, I probably should have actually had you pick me up a chaplain.
Yeah, but
'Cause there's,
the Dark Apostle.
You need a chaplain?
well, I needed John to get me a chaplain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Dark Apostle, great model. Like those 2 acolytes that have come with him.
Oh, I love the guy.
So flavorful.
Yeah.
Like, isn't the guy, he's got the full face mask?
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
and he's got the book on his back?
Yep, he's
That
carrying
guy's
like a
super
little
cool.
lectern. So he is the lectern,
Yeah.
actually, which is amazing. So now I started looking more into chaos lists based off of this Dark Apostle. So I'm like, wow, this guy's amazing. And then, so I'm looking at Master of Execution, a couple other things I want to try. And especially with all the Space Marine supplements coming out, and it's kind of looking over Salamanders, Imperial Fists, Iron Hands. I can't have my all close combat army anymore. And that's just something I've learned to accept. So I need to kind of evolve and move past and add some stuff there that gives me some range and some kind of threats.
It's just good to have, like honestly, right? It's
Right.
good to have an army that has multiple threat vectors.
Oh, sure.
Right.
Yeah. Where I deal a lot in redundancy because I think it's funny, is generally how I build
Right.
my armies.
Sure, same.
Because I'm like, man, how many Nurglings can I fit in a list? And actually, with Iron Hands, I want to run like 44 Nurglings and just run those assholes up the field.
Nice.
Again, 44 Nurglings against Iron Hands, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that would be hilarious. And then like 90 Plague Bearers along with it. And that 90 Plague Bearers, a Demon Prince, the Scrivener, the Battle Piper, Pogspringer, and 44 Nurgling bases is about 2,000 points.
Wow.
Which would just, man, it'll be wiped off the table in 2 turns, but man, what a 2 turns.
So
that would be.
I don't know if that would get wiped
So
off the table.
we've been talking about the hate that Iron Hands have been getting
Sure.
has made me not want to play it because I don't want to make other people have a bad time at our local RTTs and stuff. So even though I really want to play, I also don't want to give field badsies. So I've been looking at doing like a Nurgling Renegade Knight list actually.
Okay.
Just a ton of Nurglings and then Renegade Knights.
I dig it. I will buy them off you handily after 2 games.
I was just going to buy them off of you so that I could use them in the first place. And then I just used your painted knights because, they look like chaos already. So
That's fair. That's fair. The red and gold
Yeah,
really
red and gold.
really pops. The other thing I've been working on very hard is branding.
Yeah, you can only hit me with a hot iron so many times, John.
Lies, I can hit you with it a lot. But yeah, I've been
In
working.
the theme of Salamanders, we're branding Dave.
Yeah, we're branding Dave.
And me.
Oh, okay.
I have the Mob Rules tramp stamp now.
He does. And how disappointed girls are when they find out it's not the White Claw logo. But yeah, so tournament season's coming up. Danny's traveling a lot. We're all traveling down to Vegas. So I started working on getting some custom things done. So we have some custom measuring tapes coming, courtesy of Hammerhead Games.
I'm really excited.
We're
about
excited
So
about
stoked.
those. Those are actually also going to be available soon from Hammerhead Games web store. So if you too want to have terrible luck but a sweet
Why does
logo,
Bono want to buy a ruler?
then you'll be able to get those on hammerheadgames.com, and that'll be able to support our podcast too. So thank you so much for reaching out and doing that.
Yeah.
And then dice, we have our Marvel Rules dice
So excited
still
for
on
those.
order. I'm very excited for those. Those are coming. I know Hammerhead Games is going to have a command point tracker / turn tracker, the 9-inch quick measure stick, and then also some sweet objective markers as well. So
Yeah, I can't wait to use them.
super branded. Yeah, if you I bought some plain t-shirts so I can make nice little Mob Rules t-shirts as well. So we're going to be the guys who look like we're trying to sell something called Mob Rules.
I'm not. I'm going to look like the guy that's drunk in Vegas.
I mean, that's not very unique, Dave. I think aim higher. Be the guy that's passed out drunk
Air
in
Force.
Vegas. So yeah, I painted a bunch of those. I assembled a bunch of stuff. It's actually been a super busy couple of weeks, and I picked up the Lost in the Damned, the second Siege of Terror book, which I'm excited to get started on there. I read about about a quarter of the Space Marine book. Quarter of the way through, I'm like, oh God, this is a unique take.
Dude.
So I will say this about that book. When it originally came out, it was absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, sure.
But because they have made such leaps and bounds in their writing and storytelling, going back and trying to read it now,
The main character is called Biff.
Well, it's no better than like two dead weasels talking or whatever.
you
the
shut
death
your
ring are.
whore mouth, I will stab you.
You know, it's
Two heads talking, slick weasel.
Slick weasel.
we'll
That's
talk.
a dick, Dave.
We'll talk more about it next time because I still do want to talk about the book, because when you strip away a lot of the funky stuff, because this came out in the same sort of time as like
Air metal.
I was going to say 93, 94. Right?
yeah, it's the same kind of time as like Obi-Wan, Sherlock, Clouseau, or what was that?
No, that guy was in
name?
the 80s.
But it was that same kind of era, right? Where it's still the ridiculousness of it.
Okay.
Also, Twisted Sister.
I was Twisted Sister, yeah.
First off.
So there's a lot of good stuff, but there's also a lot of kernels of kind of where 40K came from. Lots of early Necromunda, like the Brats, like actually had models that were made by Jess Goodwin, and it was kind of cool seeing those gangs in there. So there's a lot of good to it, but man, it's a little slower. I got to turn off my brain and not think about it.
I think it's going to be really good as an audiobook.
There was not an audiobook option.
No, I'm just saying, I think it'd be really good as an audiobook.
Oh man, if someone wants to pay me to read that book,
Nobody wants to pay you to do anything.
that's fair. That's fair.
But,
Not even
but
my
like
job.
if cold open stories, what's the time frame on that before they could just record it as an audiobook?
Oh shit! I think it would technically, if it was presented right, we could get it done as parody. So you wouldn't really even have.
I'm in.
Yeah,
Colin, call us.
Colin. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not listening to this.
Oh, he does.
I'm
Colin,
sorry then, Colin.
Colin, I'm going to text you at 2 a.m. Canadian time and ask you to write Space Marine in '93 early fiction book into some goodnesses. But we're going to take a break. We'll be right back, and we have some stuff to talk about, I'm sure.
Do you have a single wound? A standard bolt gun? Having trouble maintaining an acceptable Xenos kill count? Only barely over 2 meters tall? Maybe it's time to ask your lieutenant if the Rubicon Primaris is right for you. The Rubicon Primaris is a prescription process that helps you to update that tired look. You may notice an increase in your purging abilities after within 2 to 4 hours. You may experience loss of life, additional organs, and a points increase. Do not take the Rubicon if you plan on fitting into rhinos, drop pods, or other traditional vehicles. The Rubicon Primaris is not intended for second founding chapters. The Rubicon Primaris is for use on genetically enhanced super soldiers over the age of 800 only. You are encouraged to report negative side effects to your company's apothecary. The Rubicon Primaris. Because sometimes plot armor is just not enough. Today we'll be reviewing the Codex Supplement Salamanders. Hot! And it is hot.
Literally, because they're the fire people.
I know, right?
They've ruined Avatar.
What?
The Last Airbender? The fire people? Nothing? I will just chalk a note down to cut that out.
Wow.
And there it is. All right.
How old are you?
Like, Avatar references make you solid early 20s.
Yeah, very good. All right, so I'm Danny, and I'm joined today by
Dave.
John.
And John, our special guest.
Woo!
Yeah.
I know it's not really
Special
special.
normal?
Yeah.
Well, I use special with air quotes.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't see it. Oh, wait, no, you can see it this time.
You
Damn
absolutely could see that. All right, so today we're going to be reviewing Codex Supplement Salamanders. Super awesome book that Games Workshop is coming out with. This will be going up for pre-order today.
It's not as good as Iron Hands or any of the other supplements that exist already. Is that a statement you would say, Danny?
It is not. I would say this book is just as good as...
That is a statement you would say?
I would say it is just as good as Iron Hands.
Okay, you heard it here. Danny said it's not as good as Iron Hands. They don't need to be FAQ'd.
So, let's
just wrap this up and call it
Iron
good.
Hands don't have to be FAQ'd or Salamanders don't have to be FAQ'd? Because
Well, now I'm confused by the double negatives.
Technically, I think they both need to be FAQ'd. But we'll see.
All right, as long as they're equally FAQ'd.
Sorry, I'm not getting off on a good start here. Let's talk about this awesome Codex supplement. I'm excited about it.
This book is so good.
It's so good.
It is, like, compared... Like, I was excited for my Imperial Fists, and then I read the Salamanders, and I'm like,
oh.
You know, you just got
That's what real power looks like.
You got to add blue to yellow armor to get to Salamanders, John. You'll be fine.
The Virgin Imperial Fist versus the Chad Salamander.
All right.
Well, they don't have any successors, man, so they really have concentrated their power.
You got two bonus stratagems because they don't have any successors. Damn it.
That's true.
Yep.
All right, so today we'll be focusing on the rules for the Lords of Nocturne, or the Salamanders. But the fluff is really great. They have this really good detail of a new campaign that the Salamanders have fought in since after the
never before
Indominus
talked
Crusade.
about
Yeah,
campaign?
I believe so.
That's awesome.
So pretty cool. It does have rules for 2 characters.
What?
Yeah, double the amount of characters that you would get in the Iron Hand supplement.
FAQ this right now.
So you've got Vulcan Hestan, you've got Ardax Agaton. I think that's how you say his name. That seems right.
Close enough.
Yeah.
So these are both characters. So Agaton is actually a sergeant in the Salamanders series of books. He's been elevated to captain now, so that's pretty cool.
And Primarified as well.
Yeah, he's also has crossed the Rubicon and become a serious badass. But first, we're going to talk about Vulcan Hestan. Now, Vulcan comes in at a whopping 130 points. Just kidding. That's a pretty good deal.
This is a really good deal for him.
That's amazing.
So pretty standard captain profile stats. 5 wounds, toughness 4, strength 4, 4 base attacks. He does have a 2+ armor save, which is nice. He's got a bolt pistol. He's got Gauntlet of the Forge, which is effectively a heavy flamer. He also has the Spear of Vulcan, which is the same as a relic blade, except it's only AP -2 and not AP -3. So still pretty good though. So he gets 5 strength 6 attacks in the first round of combat. Yep. Yeah, people are really upset about this.
Yeah,
crazy.
Iron Hands game going on upstairs.
Right, that's what it is. Yeah, bunch of babies. And then he's got Rites of Battle, just like a captain. He's got Caesaria's Mantle, which is a 3-up invul save, and then his most important rule, which we'll talk about probably ad nauseum during this review, is Forge Father. You can reroll hits and reroll to wound rolls with flamer or melted weapons within 6 inches of him. That is an insanely powerful ability with this book.
Fire Daddy.
Oh my god, he's really good at bringing the pain, and that reroll to wound roll, especially with flamer weapons, is going to be instrumental. He's the Gulliman of fire. Well,
overrated and balanced.
Yeah, there you go. Sure. And then secondly, we have Ardax. Ardax is a standard Primaris captain. He's got strength and toughness 4, 6 wounds, 5 base attacks. He also has a 2+ armor save, which is very nice.
Which,
That's
yeah,
a
is
ability.
unique almost for Primaris, right?
Yeah, for the most. Well,
There's not a lot of 2-up
Yeah,
saves.
you're right. You're right. Yeah,
There are no two-up saves unless you give them not for Primaris.
Yeah, Farios has one.
Yeah, but he's not really a person. He's like a robot with a head. But these,
Don't think he does. Are you sure?
He's a 2-up. Yeah, for sure.
So he also has Artificer armor then.
Yeah.
or at least that's how Danny's been playing him. So that's all that
Yeah,
matters.
so but my opponents have been letting me get away with it. They're like, of course he does. He has every other rule. So, he's got 5 base attacks, which is great. He's got Dracus, which is a 12-inch range flamer weapon with AP -1. So really good. So D6 hits, D6 shots, always hits. Then he's got the Malus Noctum, the Evil Knight, which is his Thunderhammer. Strength times 2. Sorry, he's not Torgaradon here, guys. He's only got strength 8, right?
How dare he?
-3, but 4 flat damage all the time, not just against vehicles. And he does suffer a -1 to hit with that, so it's a normal Thunderhammer in that respect.
It's still pretty good. Still hitting on 3s. And yeah, just a normal Thunderhammer is still horribly good.
Yeah, it's 4 damage instead of 3.
And you don't have to pay for it on him at the exorbitant
Hey,
price. of,
140 points.
yeah, I mean,
Way good deal for him.
Yeah.
So his abilities are also very powerful. He lends a great assault unit to your army. He has Onto the Anvil, which adds +1 to wound rolls for attacks made by melee weapons and Salamander's units within 6 inches of him if they were charged, or heroically intervene. So just a flat +1 to wound in combat, as long as it's first round of combat.
That is very, very exciting.
Yeah, that's pretty good. He also has a 4-up invulnerable save. He has the Iridian Drakehide Cloak, which gives any weapon that targets him a -1 damage characteristic.
Running theme with these marine supplements is
-1 damage.
-1 damage.
So, but that's a great ability. I think that makes him a lot tougher, especially if he gets hit with like 2 or 3 damage weapons. He's either having the damage or taking a third of the damage right off.
I mean, it's very good and very fluffy actually, because of Nocturne, like using the cloaks, going out as warriors and whatnot, like they did in the lore, and killing these dragons and using them, as their right of challenge or whatnot.
Yep, 100%.
So I like it a lot. It shows that he's still got it from back in the day. He's just carrying it along with him.
Yep. And then he's also got right to bow, just like a normal captain. So yeah, he's a great deal for his points. Only 140 points for a really solid beatstick character that adds a lot to your melee punch. And he's really hard to get rid of at a 2+ armor save, 6 wounds, and -1 damage.
Yeah. So you've got 2 very solid characters.
Oh man, great characters. Yeah.
You're probably going to see in almost all Salamander's armies.
Yeah, I think you're at least going to see one of them in every Salamander's army. But I easily see both. I see Ardax as a really great target for a couple of the different stratagems. I think he's a really solid choice. Vulcan, I would suspect you're going to see probably more even than Agaton.
Well, because most of the people that already play Salamanders already own Vulcan.
True.
So,
But
think
just
it's
the
just
army-wide buff of rerolling to hit and wound rolls is huge.
Which stacks with some really cool stuff they can do later on.
yeah.
So, and here you can see Ardax in all of his glory, probably as big as an aggressor. So that's pretty cool. He's a beefy boy.
Is he? He's just in regular Primaris, right?
Yeah, he's an artificer armor.
Right, but it's just regular Mark 10 instead of...
Yeah, a little beefy fire daddy.
Yep. All right, so the Crucible of War. So the ability for doctrines that Salamanders get is called Promethean Cult. What this does is, while the tactical doctrine is active, when resolving an attack made by a flame or melt a weapon, add 1 to the wound roll. Super powerful, especially if you're building your army to maximize that flame damage.
Yep.
Just a +1 to wound with flamer weapons is really gross. Mm-hmm. That means that like normal flamers are wounding vehicles on 4s, and knights and toughness 8 vehicles on 5s.
Yeah, it's very good.
If only there was a way to manipulate that wound roll.
Or re-roll it, right?
Right.
Yeah. So really great. Again, you have to kind of build your army around this. But my theme, I think the theme of this army is, if you get your units within 8 inches of the enemies, they just die.
They're already dead. Yeah, that's That's salamanders to a T right there. Actually, is
And
if,
so-
if they're within 12 inches of you, basically, you're already dead. You've already lost.
Yeah, it's gonna be real tough.
As someone who primarily plays close combat armies, I'm very excited for this supplement.
I can't wait to charge them.
At least they'll get -1 when shooting your plague bear.
Oh, flamers just hit. All right. So salamanders have a bunch of really cool warlord traits that help to buff the hitting value of their characters. Like they really change how hard they hit, as well as some that'll increase how tough they are. So first one, Anvil of Strength. This is Vulcan Hestan's warlord trait. This gives +2 to the warlord's strength characteristic. Super solid, right?
Yes.
Yep. So being able to add 2 to a guy with a Thunderhammer makes him strength 12. So just throwing that out there. Or
That's almost as good as the 3 times power fist.
Yeah.
it's the same. Yeah, but it's
I mean,
yeah.
It's easier math
But
to
it's
get
less
there.
but it's less of a fist. So it has that going for it. The other thing that you can use this on that I thought was kind of funny is maybe on a Chaplain Dreadnought.
I don't think that's funny at all, Danny. That does not sound funny.
So that would make him strength 16 with his Dreadnought close combat weapon, or putting on the character Dreadnought.
I was going to say, isn't there but the only downside for him is he's then the
Briarth?
only character that you can take if he's your warlord.
Yes, but you can pay 1 CP out of the Space Marine book and give any character a warlord trait. Yeah, you forgot, didn't you?
I forgot about that trait.
So, but yeah, giving him either this one or the other one that's really good is Forge Master. Add 2 to the toughness characteristic of this warlord. So if you did take Briarth and you wanted to use the warlord trait to give him 2 warlord or the stratagem to give him 2 warlord traits, you could make him strength and toughness 10. Oh no, sorry, toughness 11. My bad.
Oh, how dare you? It's a lot of command points, but that's a real irritating unit.
It'd be pretty funny.
All right.
Anyway, so that's another one. Forge Master +2 toughness makes your warlords super tough. Then you've got Miraculous Constitution. So as Vulcan was an Eternal, is it Eternal? Perpetual.
Perpetual,
That's
yes.
what it was. So if you gives them a 6 up, feel no pain, and at the start of each remove phase, the warlord regains a wound. Pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Yep. Never give up. At the start of the battle round, you can select 1 friendly Salamanders unit within 6 inches of the warlord. They get Defenders of Humanity, so they get the objective secured.
It's good.
Not bad.
Don't all Space Marines already have Defenders of Humanity objectives secured?
Absolutely, if they're troop choices.
Okay.
Yep.
So you can give this to any unit.
So this is similar to the Imperial Fist one.
Yep. Or Crimson Fist.
Or Crimson Fist one, but you don't get to double up.
Exactly, if they already have Defenders of Humanity.
But to double defend humanity.
Right. Well, and Salamanders in the fluff are one of the most kind, supposedly, of the Space Marine chapters, so they do the most to help people out. They do a lot of charitable donations.
Wash people's dishes.
Yep, they make a lot of Christmas presents for kids.
Lots of old ladies getting walked across the street.
Yep, that kind of thing. They're
I
basically
want to imagine your
Christmas
salamander
elves.
crushes their wrist while grabbing them, and then just drags a limp arm.
Come with me, mortal, if you want to.
That sounds like the chaos version of the salamanders. I'm
Anyway.
still trying to do good deeds.
Then you have Lord of Fire, and this is Ardax Agatone's warlord trait. This lets you reroll the dice to determine the number of attacks made with flamer weapons by friendly salamanders within 6 inches.
All right, so
I think this is the gimme trait, but I could be totally wrong with this. I think it's really
you
good.
rarely are. So
Well, I think just the way this book is set up, and you'll go more into it later. If you're maximizing flaming weapon or flamer weapons is how this book is run.
Yeah.
And doing that with that warlord trait is saving you CP for some other strats later on in the book here
Yep.
that are.
And you don't have to spend them on that, but
Yeah.
it could be worth it or it could be not, depending on how much you absolutely just need something to die. The final one is Patient and Determined. Once per shooting phase and or once per fight phase when resolving an attack made by this warlord, do not make a hit roll. It just hits.
hot.
That's pretty cool if you have a really good if you're a combi melta for a character. I'm trying to think of some other stuff, but anyway,
You said it was the the fight phase as well.
yeah.
So that's
Auto hit with the Thunder Hammer
So
is
to me,
nice.
that's good. So you can auto hit with a thunder hammer. So if you have a character that has 1 or 2 wounds left and you need them gone,
Sure.
then that's kind of a way of taking dice out
Making
of
sure
it.
that you're
Yeah.
getting that. Or if you're shooting at something that has a huge penalty to hit,
Yes.
That could also be really
Like
solid.
plague bearers.
Sure.
Yep.
And then, of course, also Salamanders also get to reroll 1 to hit, to wound, and to wound roll every single phase.
Right.
Every time they attack. So
Each unit. So
each unit, yep. So pretty good there. Then we have relics. So we have the relics of Nocturne and the special issue war gear. Let's go over special issue war gear first because those are
Standard.
less cool, right? So we have adamantine mantle, artificer army, mastercraft weapon, digital weapons. All of those are standard for every Space Marine supplement. Some of those are equipable by sergeants. They're pretty good. Then you have the Obsidian Aquila, Promethean Plate, Dragon Rage Bolts, and the Drake Blade. So the Obsidian Aquila, whenever a chapter model within 6 would lose a wound on a 1d6, on a 6+, it's not lost. So a 6-inch bubble of 6 up Feeling of Pain is really powerful.
Yes.
That's a great one. Promethean Plate, when resolving an attack made against this model or against a model with this relic, an unmodified wound roll of 1, 2, or 3 always fails. So you can only wound them on a 4+. Super good.
yep.
Just like so tough. Like there's lots of ways to boost the survivability of your models in this book.
Yeah.
Dragon Rage Bolts. So this is very similar to the Imperial Fist one, where you make 1 to hit roll with your bolt weapon, and instead of doing one hit, you do D6. You do D6 to wound rolls, and all of those are damage characteristic 1 and armor penetration 1.
Okay.
So
I mean,
bad.
Not bad.
But if, again, you put it on a sniper weapon, you can get D6 shots with a sniper weapon that ignore line of sight and cover, potentially. I thought that was kind of cool.
I mean, we have different definitions of cool, but, sure.
Neat combo synergy.
Yep.
Yep.
It's very good synergy, very powerful synergy. And then you have the Drake Blade, and this replaces a power sword, mastercrafted power sword, or combat knife. And it gives you, it's a replacement for the power sword, obviously. So strength user -4 AP instead of -3, or -none in the case of a combat knife. 2 flat damage. Anytime you make a wound roll of 6, they take 1 mortal wound in addition to any other damage.
Anytime you can dish out mortal wounds is good. So.
It's pretty good. So next we have the Relics of Nocturne. So we've got Vulcan Sigil, add +1 to the attack characteristics of the model that has it.
Okay.
Keep in mind these are only usable by Salamanders themselves. Successor chapters will have to, I think they can pay a CP for that. I'll have to look.
Almost all of them have that they can do that.
Yeah,
but
I think they do, but Salamanders don't technically have any recorded successors, so I'll have to see if that exists. Anyway, so they got Vulcan Sigil, add 1 to the attack characteristics of model with this relic. In addition, once per battle, at the start of the fight phase, you can hold it aloft, and all Salamanders within 6 get +1 attack. And the guy who has it gets +2.
Huh.
So that's a pretty good relic.
It's pretty, it's
solid.
I mean, I wouldn't kick it out of bed for burning crackers.
So if you want to really buff those Installed Centurions and make sure that they hit like a freight train, that's your one right there. I like this one here, the Drake Smiter. So this is a replacement Thunderhammer. It's effectively the same as a normal Thunderhammer, except it's AP -4. It still is -1 to hit, but anytime you roll an unmodified wound roll of 6, add 3 to the damage characteristic.
That's quite the exploding hit.
Yep. So a flat 6 damage when it hits, and there's a way that you can boost that up even further, which we'll cover later on.
Which we'll cover very shortly.
Yep, very shortly.
All right.
And right now. So, just kidding. We'll save it for the stratagems. All right, then you have Wrath of Prometheus. This is a bolt gun or mastercrafted bolt gun replacement. It is a bolter that has a 30-inch range, strength 5, -2, 3 flat damage, rapid fire 1.
Okay.
Not bad.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Then you have the Tome of Velcona, which is a librarian upgrade. The model with this relic knows 1 psychic power from the Promethean discipline, in addition to any other powers it knows. When a psychic test is taken for a model with this relic, and you're attempting to manifest a power from the Promethean discipline, you can add 1 to the total. So you get an extra power, and you add 1 to your results, and you can take a Promethean power in addition to like a Librarius power, or something else. So you can, I feel like it's real. This is a really good.
It gives you a lot of
tool.
flexibility.
Yeah, it's really solid. Then you have Salamander's Mantle. When resolving an attack made against a model with this relic, subtract 1 from the wound roll. Super solid.
Super solid.
Then you have Nocturne's Vengeance, which is a combi flamer. Basically, it gives you a mastercrafted bolt gun, so damage 2, minus 1 AP, and a mastercrafted flamer, AP minus 1, and 2 damage on that as well. And then finally, you have the Helm of Draculos, which is Primaris only. Add 1 to the wounds characteristic of this relic, and subtract 1 from leadership characteristic of models while their units are within 6 inches of them.
That's really good.
Yeah, it's really solid.
Yeah.
Super solid.
Like a Gravis Captain with 8 wounds. It's pretty good, right? Yeah,
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah. Especially if he's off buffing aggressors or something like that.
Yeah.
That minus bubble for
Hard agree.
leadership.
Brutal.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So the
This
relics.
section is worthless, right?
It's
Or the stratagems?
yeah. I think they have the best stratagems of all the Space Marine supplements. Like very much so. Like even better than Iron Hands ones. Like
I
the
think
amount of damage output that these guys can do is like.
I think we were
crazy.
talking that we just read the first 4 and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
No, the first 4. That's what it was.
I was like, oh my god, these guys are going to be super stupid. And I mean, they're amazingly powerful. So you've got Flamecraft, the first one. So this one is change before Flamecraft lets you add 1 to the wound rolls of flamer weapons.
Yep.
Since you get that as a normal benefit for the codex for the doctrine. Now you pop the strat. Don't roll the number of hits for flamers. Just do maximum hits.
no.
And it's until the end of the phase, so if you have something like Aggressors that gets to shoot twice, you can do both shots at maximum.
So like a unit of 6 Flamestorm aggressors.
Yes.
Maximum Hits was the name of my radio show at college. It was an overnight show. I don't think anybody listened. So
Sorry, I was just listening to all infantry being put away into cases.
Dude, fear for your tanks, though, man. With +1 to wound.
God.
Speaking of +1 to wound, Crucible of Battle. Use the stratagem in the shooting or fight phase when a Salamander's unit is chosen to shoot or fight with until the end of the phase. When resolving an attack made by them, add 1 to the wound roll. So now your flamers are wounding toughness 7 vehicles on 3+. They're wounding toughness 8 stuff on 4s. So, and the infantry, like you're already 2s, like pretty much across the board, regardless of what it is.
Busy melting the bejesus
Oh
out
my
of
god,
people.
you're just melting faces.
So for
1 CP. So it's the same as Veterans of the Long War, right?
So for 3 command points, you have a unit with max flamer shots
yeah.
that have +1 to wound that can be re-rolled from the captain's bubble.
Yep.
I'm gonna pack my vehicles
I-
away.
Hold on. I'm not even done yet.
Oh, that's right. It's not even.
There's still 2 more stratagems to add to this combo, John, that will just destroy everything within 8 inches.
I'm just gonna make it.
Just like
It's the name of my video.
I destroy everything within 8 inches. That's the name of your video.
Yep.
I fucking doubt it.
Yo, got him.
All right, so then we've got Strength of the Primarch, another great stratagem. This is in the fight phase. Select a Salamander's unit until the end of the phase. Add 1 to the strength characteristic of models in that unit. Solid. Right?
Yep.
Especially
Still
when
solid.
you've got Assault Centurions that are ×2 strength. Or you've got your aggressors, same aggressor unit. They're to now strength 10. Amazing.
Ugh.
But it doesn't end there. Anytime with that unit, you roll a wound roll of 6, double the damage characteristic of that weapon. So that means those Assault Centurions are doing 6 flat damage on 6s to wound with their siege drills, or your aggressors are doing 2d3, or that captain that we talked about earlier with that Relic Thunderhammer is doing a flat 9 damage. 9 damage, guys. Let's talk about
This is
that
like
for a minute.
This is like 3 or 4 CP, right?
That'll be a 1 CP stratagem, John.
Oh, good.
Yep.
I was worried everything would just be 2 CP for these chapter specific ones.
Oh yeah, sorry, no, that's just Imperial Fists. All right, so
I'm
Fortify
super
their
excited,
command
though.
points.
I mean,
oh man, like the destruction that these guys cause is insane, and that like totally fits with the fluff of the chapter, right? If they like their whole point, like they're humanitarians, right? But once you
So
anger
they will
them,
fucking end you.
once you make them
Do
mad,
not-
there
do
is
not
no
step
going
off the
back.
path
You're
onto the
just
grass.
dead. Right?
don't run over the old lady. That's it. It's
Don't run over the old lady. Those two things are very different.
Yeah, they
Step
did
off
not
the
fill
graph
out the TPS reports.
Oh no.
yeah. I'm super excited because all that I'm seeing are people wanting to buy easy to build aggressors because nobody bought them previously.
I
because
bought
they
2
sucked.
boxes this week.
Yeah.
Previously,
Thanks for the
on
preview
things
copy.
you didn't buy, easy build aggressors and also centurions, multi-wound models on units makes it really easy for me to choose gangbusters and have it be an actual option.
For sure. That's a good choice.
It is a great
Always
choice.
choose gangbusters.
It is a great choice. These aren't swarms, are they?
No, they're not. Okay.
Gangbusters, then.
Yeah, gangbusters. So the third part to the 4-part Uber stratagem is the Fires of Battle. Now, the Fires of Battle, you pick one model. One model, not a unit. It's very easy to misread that when you're looking at the stratagem. It's one model. Whenever that model shoots with a flamer or melt-a-weapon, anytime they roll an unmodified wound roll of 4 or better, the target suffers 1 mortal wound in addition to normal damage. So let's look at this humble Flamestorm aggressor, right?
Yes.
Just
let's.
one?
Yeah. Because you only get
one.
today one
Right.
model.
He does, if you pop Flamecraft, he's getting 24 hits if he gets to shoot twice, assuming he stood still.
Okay.
Right? 24 auto hits that now wound with +2 to wound. Any unmodified 4s or better are a mortal wound in addition to damage, and you're getting to re-roll to wound rolls. So, like on average, this guy does 18 mortal wounds to a toughness 8v, or 18 mortal wounds to any target if he's just re-rolling anything below a 4, which I would totally do. Mm-hmm. In addition to the other to wound rolls that he's making. So, like he's wounding, like let's say he's shooting at a knight, right? So that means he's getting 18 mortal wounds and 18 saves. He's in Assault Doctrine, so you're -1 AP. That means the knight has to also make 18 4-up saves. So it fails 9, so that's 27 damage. I mean, it's
From
just short
one
of
guy.
It's just short of killing a Castellan in one go by 1 wound.
Yes. And that's
Plus, all the other models in that unit still get to do all their stuff. They don't.
Right, sure.
They don't.
And they may not shoot at that save.
They've already been benefited by 3 other strats. So
that how much is that final stratagem there?
Oh, this is not the final stratagem.
Oh, okay. How much
It's
is
1.
that? 1. Okay.
and it's
So
not
we're
the
cur-
So
final
we're
stratagem.
up at 4.
We're up to 4 command points to do 27 wounds to a knight with 1 Flamestorm aggressor.
Yep.
All right, now after night players watch this video, Danny, you're just going to see them run away from aggressors. It's just going to be nope.
Well, let's get him in combat, right?
Yeah. Oof. What else have you got to add to this gumbo of doom?
All right, so we've got the Rites of Vulcan. Rites of Vulcan is basically whenever you shoot a rapid fire or assault weapon by a Salamander's model in your army on a wound roll of 6, unmodified, you do an extra 1 AP. So just like all the other Space Marine chapters have that. Oh, sorry. Do you want me to go over the part 4? Because that's over here. The real.
No, I can wait. I think I'm going to need a minute.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Just let it all sink in. Just keep that. All right. Next, we have Despite the Odds. This is if use a stratagem at the end of your turn if you have a Salamander's Warlord on the table. And you did not achieve any tactical objectives this turn, generate a new one.
That's in the same spot as all,
I think it's really good too. Like you just if you didn't generate one,
For
it's
Maelstrom.
probably bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Probably, or if you didn't score one, it's probably really bad. But at least then you get some additional stuff.
Yeah, it's solid.
All right, so you may be thinking, well, that's great. I've got a unit that ignores Overwatch. I don't care. I'm going to go into those aggressors and tie them up in close combat. Well, maybe that's not such a great idea. The Immolation Protocol stratagem for 1 CP lets you change all of your flamer weapons to pistol weapons, so you can fire all of those aggressor shots as they did not move in the previous phase with 2d6 auto hits. Rerolling to wound rolls potentially and/or...
Now, can that be combined with Max Flame?
It cannot.
Okay, good.
It's
Oh, wait. No, it
yes,
can.
They can.
Yeah.
It absolutely can. You can combine all of these with that.
So you're going to charge into that unit who's going to change their flamer type to pistol, get you max hits in that unit of aggressors that did not move. If it's, say, a unit of 3 is going to...
Oh, a unit of 3. Sorry. 72 auto hits.
So 72 auto hits in close combat with flame weapons at -1 AP.
It's your special tie-up unit.
Yep, that's correct.
Danny, why are we even here recording? Why aren't we buying every single box of flame aggressors in America?
I'm working on it. All right. Next we have... and so this is what this stratagem, like right now as it's written, probably makes the army actually broken. Like, no, for real. Like, this stuff, like...
Hold on. We're just now getting to the actually broken phase.
Well, okay. So, the way this stratagem is worded, it can effectively make your entire army immune to shooting. Which I don't like the way that works. I think that it's probably going to be FAQ to not include character models. So self-sacrifice, it was leaked a while ago. I did see it on a couple of forums and things like that. But
we don't go there, so we waited until we got this review copy.
I absolutely look at all of that.
I absolutely do go. I just don't talk about it.
Yep.
Definitely not on a video.
So select one Salamander's infantry unit from your army. Until the end of that phase, enemy units cannot target any other infantry units from your army that are within 6 inches of that selected unit, unless the closest enemy unit, unless it is the closest enemy unit and visible to it. So basically, it turns any infantry units within 6 inches of that selected infantry unit into characters. So you can only target them if they're closest and visible. So what you do is you use this on a character model, right? Mm-hmm. So then you have units that are out of line of sight or very tough in front of it, like flyers or impulsors, or infiltrators or eliminators that are forward, and out of line of sight. So you can't shoot that character because he's not the closest model to you. And then you can't shoot any of the other stuff behind that character because they're not closer.
There's probably going to be a wording change.
I really think so, because that's really stupid.
I would hope so.
And the other thing to remember about this is it's just infantry units, not Salamander's infantry units. So if you're playing like an Imperial army, where you have like guardsmen or a different Space Marine chapter, you can use your Salamanders to protect those units. So assuming that this does get changed, you're going to want to, the target you want to select is going to have to be something extremely durable. I would say something like Centurions, or maybe Thunderhammer Storm Shield Terminators. Those would all be good choices for this stratagem, I think.
Okay, good. Well, solid advice there.
Yep. All right. You got Rise from the Ashes. This is a copy of the Necron stratagem. Use the stratagem in any phase when a Salamander character dies. At the end of that phase, roll 1d6 on a 4-up, return it with 1 wound remaining, and as close as possible as its previous position, 1 inch away from any enemy models. It can only be used on each character once per battle. So if they do kill the character at the end of the phase, you can have him get back up potentially on a 4+.
And you can try that with multiple characters across multiple.
Yeah,
phases.
just you can't do it on the same character more than once, right? So that's really good, especially on these hard to kill characters for Salamanders. You saw the relics; a lot of the relics buff the how tough the character is.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Does it affect vehicle characters?
It just says character.
Oh,
so
that wonderful toughness 11 dreadnought can get back up on a 4-up.
Absolutely. You know that guy has a 4-up feel no pain too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude. Dave's like, "Oh, I'm buying a new dreadnought."
and how much was Bray?
I'm just making a note so that I can add it to the list of things that I need to make a graphic.
Keep in mind, he has 375 points. So
because he takes 3,000 points of shooting to put down.
You know what?
He can't wait for Goonhammer to review Brayarth getting shot by a Warlord Titan, finding out that it doesn't die.
I don't know if he's as tough as a Leviathan with Iron Hands Leviathan. I don't know. Anyway. So then you have Vengeance for Istvan 5, which also Raven Guard have, and Iron Hands.
Right? Iron Hands? Iron Hands.
The losers of Istvan 5.
Correct. I think you mean winners, because they're still part of the Imperium and still kicking.
Anyway, so this one allows you to reroll to hit rolls against Word Bearers, Iron Warriors, Night Lords, or Alpha Legion.
The winners of Istvan 5.
Correct, but not some reason Sons of Horus, or Black Legion, Emperor's Children, or Death Guard.
No, Salamanders, they're good with fire. They don't quite realize that Black Legion are Sons of Horus.
Oh,
in fact, no, I read the books. They're not. They're not Sons of Horus. They specifically say that Legion is gone.
Yep. All right, so then you have, for 1 CP, you have Stand Your Ground. This will help boost the durability of your infantry models. Use the stratagem in any phase when a Salamander's infantry unit that is not a servitor, did not advance in this movement phase or your previous movement phase, is chosen as the target for an attack. So you can't choose a unit if they advance this turn or last turn. Mm-hmm. Until the end of that phase, when resolving an attack made by a weapon that has a damage characteristic of 1 against that unit, add 1 to its saving throw. Does not affect invul saves. So it's a good way that you can basically give yourself cover or extra cover for a unit that's kind of moving across the table. Salamanders are not known for their speediness, Like, I guess the gravity of Nocturne is higher, so they're slower for some reason. Slower but stronger.
I mean, that makes sense.
Sure. It doesn't. But yeah, I know. I mean, like physically, I don't think it does. But like from the background, that's the background, so that's cool. And they were Initiative 3 back in the olden days.
Yeah. So
anyway, so a great way to make your aggressors like a 2-up or a 1-up.
I was going to say the aggressors that you haven't moved because you're double shooting them with max flame weapons +1 to wound. You have your one dude who's doing all the mortal wounds.
Yep.
Because they didn't advance, they now have a 2-up save.
Yeah, we're getting to the next one here.
Good. Good. I'm glad that wasn't the one for that combo.
No, what we're going to do is we're going to do Born Protectors first. Then we're going to go to Relentless Determination, which is the
little cherry.
It's the cherry on top of that combo.
CP Sunday.
The 5 CP Sunday, yeah. All right, so Born Protectors. Oh my God, what a good stratagem. So it's not even like we're getting to a bad one. This is also a really good one. So this one is 2 CP. In your opponent's charge phase, when a charge is declared against a Salamander's unit from your army, select one friendly Salamander's unit that is more than 1 inch away from the enemy units, from any enemy units, and 12 inches of the unit that is the target of the charge. The selected unit can fire Overwatch against the target as if it were the target of the charge, and then can also make a 2d6 heroic intervention move.
A 2d6? Oh my God.
So they get to countercharge, right? As if it were a character.
3 CP, right?
That'd be a 2 CP stratagem.
Okay, good.
Yep. Don't want to charge too much for that. It's kind of like the Hawk Shroud stratagem.
I mean, it's super good.
It's really cool, and it's fluffy.
And it fits in. I mean, that's the irritating things. All of these are flavorful.
Oh, man, they really are.
So fluffy.
I think they're flavorful to the point of breaking a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So, again, just keep in mind, all of this stuff is so powerful, but it does have an 8-inch range. So once self-sacrifice gets, I feel like it has to be nerfed. Like, there's no way that's going to stay in the game because that is super dumb. But, like, you're going to have carte blanche to shoot these units and try and get rid of them before they get to you. So you're going to have a couple of turns to try and mitigate this stuff because they don't have any ways to, like, get in your face incredibly fast. Like, you can stick them in repulsors if you want to, but it's so expensive. They're not going to have many other units. Anyway, so the cherry on top of that CP stratagem is Relentless Determination. So use this stratagem at the end of your movement phase. Select one Salamander's unit from your army that did not advance. Okay? So that already ties up with Stand Your Ground, right?
Check that box.
Yep. Until the start of your next movement phase, this unit is treated as having remained stationary during its movement phase for all rules purposes. So
I see how you're laughing as saying that out loud.
So you can, like move a unit of aggressors and still count them as
being stationary,
right?
So for a unit of 6 to fire, 144 shots.
Yep. Now, the other thing that this stratagem does for 1 CP is if that unit has a damage table, so it can bracket, count it at its highest. So it also does that.
Oh, good. I'm glad. So that's 3-4 CP, right?
That's
one CP.
Yep. So
Singular.
for 5 CP, you can move your unit of aggressors 6 inches and still shoot the flamer weapons. See, he knows.
I mean, it's still not a great range on them, right?
Right. Now, if you take a successor chapter and you forfeit the failed to wound rolls from Vulcan, you can turn those flamers up to an 11-inch range.
Oh,
why 11, Danny?
Because you can get a +3 inch to your range from
the successor chapter traits.
So, I mean, but why not just stop at 10? Why go to 11?
Because it goes to 11, just like this book. In a good way, though. Like, again, like, I really like this. I think it's really fun.
I hate everything about everything that we have seen so far, and I love it all at the same time. Because not one of it just was
cool.
Screamed to me like, I mean, it all stacks, but it's very CP heavy in order to do. It counterbalances by being so slow. Yeah.
You're gonna pull this trick off once. So there's going to be something you want really, really dead that's really going to die.
So one thing that I thought about when I'm using this stuff, and we'll go over the rest, but the rest are just your basic stratagems that's available to everybody. 2 warlord traits on your warlord. Master artisans is give a sergeant character a relic, which can be the Drake Blade, Dragon Rage bolts, Mastercrafted weapon, or digital weapons. And then Exemplar of the Promethean Creed is Sorry, that's the double warlord trait. Trust of Prometheus is to give a Salamander successor chapter a Salamander's relic. So
Right.
they do have that.
So the last three.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
Yeah,
the last
basic.
three. Yeah, thank you. Yes, you're correct. It's 5 CP to pull off this combo, right? You have to be within 8 inches of the enemy.
Yeah.
So you have to set up a lot of things and make a lot of things go right before this actually works. Your enemy can shut off a lot of these abilities by doing things like not allowing Overwatch and getting in there and wrecking your guys in close combat, or getting closer to some units so they can't shoot them, or they can shoot other units that you don't want to be shot. So if your opponent has a lot of mobility, like a flyer list or something like that, they can fly in and shoot your units and try and get rid of them. However, if flyers get close to these guys,
They're gone.
you're done.
Yeah.
Like, they're just going to burn you out of the sky.
So like that Eldar Airwing Force that's popular, this list is a hard counter right there.
Well,
I mean,
maybe, right?
You've
Like,
got to. You got to get spread out in order to be able to have flames to cover a lot of space to prevent them from flying.
remember that Eldar flyers can fly back and forth in a line?
Sure.
So they can fly, just keep in their deployment zone and fly back and forth along their deployment zone. And like
But something
shoot.
like the Hemlock say. I mean, sure, the Crimson.
Oh, yeah, you're done
the
there.
Crimson Hunter sure has great back
You're
and
right.
forth,
You're
but
right.
like your Hemlocks,
No.
no, they need to be in the kill zone to die.
The kill zone, correct.
Or as it's known, Salamander's deployment.
So, man, those are some good stratagems, though, right? Like,
Yeah. And the cost on them is what gets me. Like the 1 CPs do not seem like 1 CP traits.
Well, so Crucible Battle is effectively the same as Veterans of the Long War, which is one of the best stratagems in the game.
It's
That one's only 1
combined
CP,
with
right?
one of the worst armies, though.
Correct. You're not wrong.
It's the balance.
I think the balance for the stratagems being as low as they are is just because they only affect weapons that are super short range.
Mm-hmm.
You're not slapping it on a repulsor executioner and becoming super nasty, with your super lasers.
That's fair. I mean,
True, and like stay in your deployment zone, not having to move around. There's definitely a lot of tactics involved.
there
in getting
is.
your guys.
Yeah.
And I think this kind of it's an extremely powerful book, but it needs to be played extremely well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, yeah. All right, what do we got next, Danny?
All right, next we have our Promethean Discipline Psychic Tree.
It's when we huff gas.
That is,
Yeah.
it's very sophisticated.
It's when they drink Sterno. Come on. Just continuously burning.
So the first one is Flaming Blast, Warp Charge 6. If manifested, select a point on the battlefield within 24 inches invisible to the Psyker. So Imperial Fist, remember, was 18.
Yep.
Roll 1d6 for each enemy unit within 3 inches of the point. I think the Imperial Fist one was 6 inches, though.
Yes.
Or maybe even 12. It was big.
It,
Anyway,
it was a big range.
on a 4+, I take a mortal wound.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's like a little orbital strike.
Yeah. Oh, it's a baby orbital strike.
I don't think you'll see this one very much.
Baby's first orbital strike.
There it is.
Fire Shield. This one is probably going to be in every Salamander's army, I feel like. So this one is Warp Charge 6. If manifested, select a friendly Salamander's unit within 18 inches of the Psyker. Until your next Psychic phase, when resolving an attack made by a ranged weapon against the unit, subtract 1. So it makes their units a little bit tougher to shooting. And when a charge roll is made against the unit, subtract 1 from the result of that as well. So they're -1 to be charged. So you could
All right.
stack
Yeah,
that.
that's going to
on-
beat everything.
Yeah, that's like, I'm thinking like if you could put this on an Impulsor, that's probably pretty good.
It's a pretty big little FU zone.
Yeah.
Then you have Burning Hands. Burning Hands is Warp Charge 6. Until the start of your next Psychic phase, when resolving an attack made with a close combat weapon by the Psyker, if a hit is scored, the target suffers 1 mortal wound and the attack sequence ends. So basically every time he hits, he does a mortal. Yeah, it's okay.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, you could potentially do 8 mortal wounds in one close combat phase if you fight twice.
Yeah.
I guess you could do 10 if you're a Primera Psyker and you charge. Anyway, not bad. Drake Skin. This one's also really good. Warp Charge 6, select a friendly Salamander's unit within 12. And note, this is not infantry or anything. This is just a Salamander's unit. They get +1 toughness.
Oh,
in the
Brayarth.
phase.
Hey, how are you doing, buddy?
Toughness
Oh,
12.
yeah. Man, I'm just working on buffing this dread.
He's 9 wounds.
So I'm just buffing this dreadnought to high hell with a bunch of Flamestorm aggressors, and that's my 2K Salamanders list right there.
There you go.
1 dreadnought and aggressors.
Well, the Flamestorm aggressors are cheaper than Boltstorm Gauntlet ones, too.
Yeah, that's why I'm mad.
Not.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They're 15 points for the Boltstorm or the Flamers, and it's 12 and 6 for the frag or 12 and 4 for the frag launcher and the Voltstorm gauntlets.
Okay.
So it's like 1 point per model. Like it's not a lot, but it's a little.
When you're taking 30 of them, it's a lot.
30 points.
yeah.
So then you have Fury of Nocturne, Warp Charge 6, select an enemy unit with an 18 invisible to the Psyker, roll 2d6. If the result is greater than the highest toughness characteristic of models in that unit, they take D3 mortals. Not bad.
Right.
That's a
not
targeted
bad at
smite.
all.
Yep.
Then you have Draconic Aspect. This one's probably the worst one, I think. Warp Charge 6, if manifested until the start of your next psychic phase, subtract 2 from the leadership characteristics of models and enemy units within 12 inches of the Psyker.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's just not great.
Yeah. There's certainly other ones that really jump off.
I mean,
way
you've got
more.
Fire Shield, Drakeskin, huge.
Yeah.
Those are great. Fury of Nocturne is okay, and Burning Hands is okay. I think Flaming Blast and Draconic Aspect are probably not the best powers.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, but definitely 2 clear winners.
Yes. Yeah.
Very much so.
Absolutely. And then what are some of our dragon names?
Ooh. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready for some apostrophes?
If Tiamat is
hard
not on that
continents.
list,
I need those pronounced 100% accurately as well.
Oh, this one's Renee. Rhene.
Oh, Renee.
Yeah, Renee.
It's a French dragon.
Renee Khan.
it's
Renee Drakner.
Renee Drakner.
Drakkar.
Are you sure it's not Rahene?
No,
Because there's an H
no
in it.
apostrophe.
No, we already established you
Or
ignore
Weenie.
H's. Chasm.
How about Hezon or Kaladek? Anyway.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's
But-
cool.
So where is your head at right now, Danny, as for
man.
armyless construction? I understand you've pre-ordered several aggressors.
So
Pre-ordered,
Or
post-ordered.
post-ordered.
Oh man, people are going to listen to this point if they did for some magical reason.
We've had this
and
book
be
for
so
some time. This
confused.
was filmed when Primaris Aggressors came out.
Yeah. We've
It's my story and I'm sticking
Yeah,
to it.
sure.
Okay.
I have let's see. The list that I have right now has is a double battalion plus I have a spearhead.
braggart.
So what? That's not bad. It's only 14 command points. No big deal. So I've got a battalion with 3 5-man tactical squads with las cannons, and so with the reroll 1 to hit and 2 wound roll for each squad, I think with just 1 las cannon, like they can actually do some work. Like,
Sure.
That's smart.
yeah. And then I've got that one's led by Agatone and Vulcan. Then I have another battalion with a jump pack chaplain with the +1 to wound against the closest target. So combine that with the flamers, you can get +3 to wound on a flamer squad.
Oh,
Hot.
Or if I feel like I need to get into combat faster, I can do the +2 to charges.
Yeah.
That's good too. And then I have a librarian in there as well, a Primaris librarian. And then I have, let's see, in that one I have 3 units of 5 infiltrators. And so those units I can kind of put across the board. So that helps me to, with the stratagem worded the way it is right now, it can help me to keep my units alive.
Yeah.
With that stratagem if I
Right.
target a character. And then also in that, I have 2 units of 6 aggressors and with Flamestorm gauntlets and 1 unit of 6 assault centurions with flamers and hurricane bolters.
Okay. That seems pretty solid.
And then the spearhead is I took a Chief Apothecary Shen. So he's a Forge World model. He's an apothecary that brings back a model from death on a 3+ and heals a unit D3 +1 wounds if it's a wounded model.
oh, so an asshole.
He's a giant asshole. And he's only 75 points in an HQ choice.
Wait, what?
What?
75 points?
He's only 75 points. And he's,
Shut. That cannot be right. 75 points?
yeah, 75 points.
That's
so he's
some-
like, I took him instead of a lieutenant because I didn't feel like I needed to reroll to 1 roll since I had Vulcan.
I feel like that's just broken AF.
It's good.
It's a powerful combo.
And then I have a Thunderfire cannon and 2 squads of 3 eliminators for some sniper action and also some indirect fire. So I have some ways to kill units on the first turn to get first blood. So, but I think overall it's all infantry, which is very Salamanders-esque. Like they're not. They use transports and stuff like that, but they're pretty typically boots on the ground style.
Yeah, I mean, if you could get aggressors across the table in anything that wasn't a repulsor, then you'd probably be taken. Like if the impulsor had, room for 3 aggressors or something like that.
Sure.
Because it should, by my definition, have room for aggressors in it.
But
but that would make this just broken. Absolutely broken.
I feel impulsor rules are based off of supplement rules.
I feel like the impulsors don't let aggressors in because of this book.
Not letting aggressors in, that's kind of racist. I'm just saying.
No, they have a no aggressors.
No aggressors policy.
You have to ride the back of the repulsor.
Don't say it. Oh, God. Okay, let's end that here.
Anyway, but like if impulsors had the ability to carry aggressor models, you could potentially move up 16 inches, drop off your aggressor unit, count them as not having moved, double shoot them with all that whole combo of 3 guys like every single turn, and have little missiles of that would go off, and that's, I think, way overpowered.
I don't know. I think that seems fair. I think we should allow it.
Okay. Mind if I playtest that against you, Dave?
I do. I would prefer to watch you playtest it against John.
It's fine.
But yeah, so
my new hobby is removing demons from the board.
So with that list, assuming that strat does get FAQ'd, then I have the Centurions that I can just run up the table as fast as I can, buffing them with +1 toughness and -1 to hit.
Running Centurions.
Yep. 4 plus D6 inches every turn.
Sarge, we've been running for like 20 minutes. Yeah, we've moved an inch.
You got to save those command points for other things.
Oh, I'll be spending command points on that advanced roll for sure, unless I roll like a 4 or better. So, and then trying to keep the aggressors behind them as a screen.
Yeah, sounds good.
If you're a true follower of chaos, enjoy killing town scum, fry devilfish for breakfast, drink the blood of fire warriors, collect the bones of Kroot fodder, desecrate the cockpits of mantas with demonic sigils, sing songs of chaotic praise and joy, when berserkers chain axe overwatching broadsides, helldrake baleflame shield drones into flying discs of spinning fire, and just all around bask in the path to glory, then the Shrine of Chaos podcast is a must-listen for you. I'm Mini Wargamer Dave from MiniWargaming.com, and I invite you to be a champion of chaos. Listen to the Shrine of Chaos podcast wherever podcasts are downloadable. Thank you, Mob Rules, for allowing this message from the Eye of Terror.
And we're muted.
Whoa.
Yeah, see, I like doing that. See, I'm not good at things either. Well, that's
because
terrible.
if you don't like it, fuck you.
Yeah.
It's the Mob Rules motto, right?
The Mob Rules motto now, yeah. If you don't listen to us, then fuck you. It's your fault that we're crappy. So yeah, we don't really have a lot kind of going on right now to
what? We just filmed
super
2
busy.
hours. We just filmed, before we did this, we filmed 2 hours of review stuff that is easily podcast worthy.
Yes,
so,
which will come up in a separate podcast produced by Dave, because this guy doesn't edit.
Do what now? I'm just going to put it together with some fart noises and call it a day.
Oh, nice.
Don't steal my
Solid.
gimmick, man.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh, that's Dave Games, okay? Everybody knows that song.
Everybody
is Dave Games.
knows
that's Dave Games' song.
That song is a Dave original.
I was just recently contacted by the makers of The Price is Right. They want to do a permanent Dave Games to come on right afterwards and use that theme song. I told them they don't
fucking
own
false.
I told them
false.
I don't own the rights to it. They're going to have to talk to you. And
Doubt.
And they were like, well, fuck that guy.
I do not own the rights to that either.
He promoted himself terribly and tried to send us tons of audio clips, and so we would not work with him. So
terrible.
Yikes.
Hammerheadgames.net. Check out that store. Buy your sweet purple and white Mob Rules merch.
all right.
So sexy.
So sexy. If you are in the Southern California area, next when is SoCal?
Sorry.
2 Saturdays from next Saturday.
26th.
Yeah, if you are at SoCal, the next big tournament in 10 days. Or no, not 10 days. That's from today.
7
Whatever.
days.
Next Saturday.
Oh, fuck. I've got to get so much army painted.
Say hi to Danny. He will be there.
Monochrome Monday, 2-color Tuesday.
Danny's going to be at SoCal representing the state of Alaska, his family, friends.
Don't put that pressure on me.
He'll be one of
Pretty
300
much.
Iron Hand players.
Oh, yeah.
in
Out of
attendance.
300.
Out of
Not true.
300
The
players.
FAQ will hit right beforehand, and it'll come into play.
It won't.
But he will have stickers to give away.
I know.
Because that would be hilarious.
I'll
for
have
me.
so many stickers for you guys.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
all-
Not that many.
I'll have an infinite amount of stickers, and if I run out of stickers,
Blame Dave.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah, he had that there.
Hashtag Dave sucks. Blame,
Hashtag Dave sucks.
Blame Dave.
John will
2019.
myself.
2019. Let's date it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna continue painting demons.
Yeah.
And try to really not buy a great unclean one, though I probably will.
I'm
just
going to
as a
continue
contrast thing.
stealing your nurglings off your
wanna-
shelf
you wanna
two
trade
at a
for
time
one?
in my pocket.
Possibly.
Don't.
We'll talk.
What?
Yeah.
I might.
I have an extra one in the box. Anyway,
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, for we'll be back in 2 weeks. Danny will have Tales of Southern California,
I will.
The women, the wine,
the miniature modeling.
the crying.
Dave and I will be in a complicated economic trade war over one of Danny's models, apparently.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I'll be
that's
China. You can be the U.S. You send me soybeans.
You're fucked, dude.
fucked. Oh man, on that. Well, I've been John.
I've been Danny.
And I've been Dave.
Flawless.
We get 50 systems now.